Okay. Sorry about that. Did not realize. Wow, I've been streaming for an hour and 20 minutes and talking to myself. That's awesome. Okay. Wow. Now at least you can feel the struggles with me, as you can see my whole face turn red. All right, let's get back to this. Man, I really want. Okay, so now you can hear me on this one as well. Great. Okay, let's get back to coding. Okay, so just to sort of recap everything since no one could hear me before. So basically, the idea is we want to build a teleprompter for Google Hangouts. The reason for this is I do a lot of interviews. In addition to doing interviews at Stack Overflow, I also do interviews for a company called Carrot. Carrot is a company that specializes in doing technical interviews as a service. So I'm like a contract interviewer for them. And the way that it works is uh, companies hire them and then they basically give them scripts to follow, and these scripts are really specific to like the individual interview that's going on, based on that person's needs and whatever else. What questions you're asking, the types of things that they're looking for in a project discussion. Different clients want different things. So what they do is they give you this crazy long script, and you have to go through this script bit by bit. But the problem is, well, there's a lot of problems. First, like you end up looking to the side and looking over here to be able to. I just put the whole screen on. So you end up looking like over here, and then you're not looking at the person, right? So like you lose this level of personalization or like relatability in the interview. So I want to be able to look at them, and the way that I do that now is I put the script and the video on the same place, but then like I'm not looking at them, right? I'm looking at the script. My eyes are in the right direction, but they can still visibly see me reading like this because these scripts are big and they're long, and you got to scroll through them. And like I've tried to get better at that. So what I've done is I've gone through the scripts that I'm responsible for, like doing interviews for right now, cutting it out to be a really small amount of text, and then getting it so basically it all fits in one screen, sort of like this, like the example that I had here. This is about how big it is, and then I just scroll through it. And this way, it forces me to keep looking in the same direction. But again, I can't see their face, and I want to be able to like respond to their mannerisms. I want to be able to kind of get a feeling for how they're doing. Do I need to get them to talk more because they need to calm down, or is something visibly going on? Are they distracted? Like those are things that I need to know when I'm not just like spouting off, basically. And so the goal here is to create like a teleprompter where I can go through and I can just kind of click on these things. And just to give you an example of where we're up to at this point, right now you have the script, it goes in here, you scroll in a little bitty box, and over here would be the person's face in a Google Hangout. Then what we do is you kind of click through it. It won't let you click forward. So you have to say these things in the right order. And then as you click onto the next one, you can kind of go through, and as you finish a whole section, the whole thing highlights. This like scrolling automatically thing is something that I'd like to add in, but it's not a super priority just yet because I want to get to something that's more interesting. Um, and so as we keep going through and keep going through, then we get to the end of the interview, and that's that. All right. The trick now is I don't actually want to be clicking on this. I want to be having a conversation with them. I want to be replying to them and sort of enjoying the talk that I'm having with them. So I want this to just sort of happen automatically and be something that I kind of look at occasionally, just to make sure that I'm hitting all of the big stuff. And the way that I want to do that is using the speech recognition tooling that's built into the browser. And as you say specific words in each one of these, it'll just kind of automatically highlight them and then move on. And then you can say the next one, it'll highlight that one. You say the next one, it'll highlight that one, and so on and so forth. And so that's sort of the direction that I'm taking this in, and that's where the code is. I do a lot better in these sorts of situations in like a conversational sense. So please ask questions if you have questions, and I will look over at the chat occasionally and answer as many of them as I can. But right now, I'm going to get back to trying to get this thing to actually recognize um, what I'm saying and see what we can do. Blue. All right, so right now, basically where we're at is you click on the screen anywhere and it starts listening to you, and then it's going to change the background to be whatever the color is that you say. So now what I want to do is I want to get it to the point where I can say I want to test out these different phrases, see if it can understand these phrases, and if it can, then to kind of just tell me what it says. So we're just trying to try these out. My name is Nick. See, it got that one perfect. My name is Nick, right? So now we ought to be able to match that up with this. Probably taking the result, lowercasing it, checking if it's the next one that comes in the list. And if it is, then going ahead and highlighting it and moving on. So I think that's the approach that I'm going to take. I'm probably going to take all of the things that are in here at the beginning, turn them into a list, and only be looking at the current location in the list to see if it's a match. I would also like to, oh my lord, it is recording that whole thing. So there's got to be some way to cut that off and get more incremental pieces. Wow, that was kind of funny. Um, okay, yeah, so there's got to be some way to get some more incremental pieces so that you can pull out different parts of this and it can kind of go through it in a much faster way. I want quick feedback on this. I so I'm going to go through, take all of the LIs, extract them into a list, only look at the head of the list, and then I'll just pop the head of the list each time we say something. So you're going to have both Google Hangouts and this app listening to your mic. Yes, but the trick to it is this app is going to be just JavaScript injected into the page that Google Hangouts is on. So I'm hoping that it just kind of works. As I was looking through the settings here, right, like it does allow Google Hangouts, so I shouldn't have any trouble getting the mic on there. Um, but it's one of those things that we'll just test out later. This is really just prototype phase. Can I get this thing to do what I want it to do automatically? So that's probably an issue that we're not going to get to today, but definitely a valid concern. All right, so just gonna pop the top thing off of this list each time. Oh, see, I just clicked again. It just keeps listening to me. It just keeps listening to me. Great. So maybe I have to get better at speaking in short sentences or something. Anyway, we'll come back to that. All right. And then I'm going to actually send a message. I'm going to send a click event since I've already got the stuff that does the highlighting done. Instead of rewriting it, I'm just going to send a click event to each one of these things to do the toggling. And I think that's kind of it. That's the approach I want to take. All right, so first things first, let's just add one new script here. Well, we don't want any of this stuff that does the background. So let's trash all of that. It's weird to me that like you have to use this grammar at all. Speech recognition list, like it's just giving me the whole thing. So for this time being, I'm just gonna comment this out and see if speech grammar list. I'm just going to comment this all out and see if it works without this specific grammar. Any guesses onto whether or not it's going to? I'm going to say probably not going to work, but only because I'm not giving it a grammar at all. And if I gave it an empty grammar, it would probably still work. That's just me guessing. It's listening. Yeah, see, it still works. I did not give this a grammar, and it's still listening to my voice. Well, that's actually pretty good for a browser. All right, but it was recognizing what you were saying. Yeah, yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking. Okay, so we don't need any of this. I don't need this. I don't need any of this. Interim results. True. Let's see what that does. That sounds awesome. What is interim results? Oh my lord, this is amazing. How long will it stay on if I let it stay on? Okay, great. So interim results, we can kind of add it together ourselves. I let it snow. Well, that one didn't quite stay. I let it stay. It stay on. So not perfect, but real time. How long will it stay on if I let it stay on? Okay. So get rid of all of the punctuation. Oh man, this is really kind of, I'm not sure that we're going to be able to use this intermittent result thing. Comes through way too fast and doesn't give you any idea. It's also got low confidence. Okay. I'm just gonna have to speak in shorter sentences, or I say my whole spiel and then it just kind of updates later, and that's just gonna be good for now. Yeah, I definitely like VS Code. It took me a good minute to kind of enjoy it, but I was always a Visual Studio person, and then after Visual Studio, I switched over to Sublime, but Sublime's not really like a code editor. It's more of just a text editor, which is actually my to-do list app these days. If you see, like, this is my Stack Overflow stuff to do. This is what I was working on. This is my plan for this. This is stuff for school. This is stuff for interviews. So this is basically what I use Sublime Text for. Um, yeah, VS Code though, like just super simple to use, really kind of built in with everything. Especially when it comes to like learning Python and stuff like that. Like it was sort of difficult to do that outside of using like Jupyter. I'm just not a big fan of Jupyter. I don't like the inlineness of it and how it works. I just like writing code and running code. But that's it. So back to this. Let's see. We've got speech recognition. I don't want interim results. Max alternatives, one sounds great to me. I think that's why it's returning only one thing. BG, don't care about the background anymore. On result, event dot result. Oh, maybe actually this is how you can look at it. I'll come back to this. The interim results thing, like I would want to do that, and maybe this is somehow that we can get in there and play around with it. But for now, I think all I want to do is get to the point where it records one thing and then dumps it out. So all of this works on speech end recognition.stop and then have it just kind of recognition.start again. Shouldn't have to click for that to happen again. We'll say it needs to start the first time, just some command. So we click on the body and that works fine. We'll do the H1, make it so you have to click on the title so I don't accidentally click on it over and over. And all right, next script. Text JavaScript. All right, so the goal for this one is to grab all of the LIs inside of the ULs. Okay, so things I want to do. We're going to move this one up actually. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. So again, this is a prototype. Expect this code to be thrown away. That's pretty much how I do all of my coding. That doesn't change even for work. It changes for work. I'm a little better about it at work, but when I'm just doing stuff on the weekends, I really just want to get something working as quickly as possible. It is not my intention for this to stick around in this form. If I were ever to do it as like a full app, I would typing before optimizing though. Yeah, I don't know exactly what you mean there. So I want to grab all of the LIs in here. So I got my tele already. So let's just say items equal um, all items. You know, let's see how they come out in here. If I say teleprompter li, I really just want to see if I can get all of them in order, if it'll do that. Let's see, I got 14. What do I expect to have? That one, that one. Ooh, don't want that. Yeah, there we go. Okay, great. So now all I got to do is ignore the ones that have this and take the text out of them. Okay, great. Okay, so we're just going to say let const items equal li $sign pound teleprompter li dot dot map dot map give me function li. Um, let's try this down here. Dot map function li dot text. Nope. Why did text not work? Dot map. Sort of expected that to work. Maybe a return. Okay, great. None of them ended up being what I wanted. No, I am not a front-end developer. I'm a data engineer. I do almost everything in R and C#. Sure, let's try .html. Less. Whoops, that didn't really work, did it? Create document fragment. So now I just don't even know what I'm doing. Each. I think this one you don't actually need to wrap it. No. li.html is not a function. Just console.log. It's an I. Okay, great. So let's do element el. Oh, there we go. El return el dot text. No, you can't call that $el. Still not winning here. Console.log el.text. Okay. Why is map not working? Does map not actually return RT? No, it doesn't. T, calling each, calling map. Is this how map works? Okay, there we go. Great. My name is Nick. Let's wait a minute. Votes from Twitter. Now I need to ignore the ones. Okay, so filter dot does not have a child. That is an li dot jQuery filter Is there not a function one? I want to filter dot where. How about JavaScript array filter. Okay, this seems plausible. Okay, so what I'm going to do is remove all of the ones that contain a new line. I think that will work. See, these return a new line. Let's try that. Map text dot filter. String str0 equals new line, new character. Let's see if this gives me only the ones. Nope, it's still got 14. How do I get a character value in JavaScript? Value in JavaScript. Char code at? Sure. String dot char code at 0 equals 13. So this should give me only the ones. Nope. Char code at. Confused. Filter. Oh, I see. This is not an array. How do I get an array from this? Okay. jQuery map to array. To array. You got it. Okay, perfect. Dot filter. And this is why I like having a REPL, right? This is the other thing that I like about Python as opposed to like C# is that you can just sit there and test this out over and over and over until you figure out the thing that you need very quickly, as opposed to compile, rerun, or reloading the browser every time. String.char code at 0 equals 13. No. Great. Let's print out the first ones. .toArray .map f code at 0. Okay, so 0, 1, 2, 3, 0, 1, 2, 3. It's 10 and 10. All right, that makes sense. 10's weird. What is 10? ToArray filter string char code at 0 not equals 10. All right. There we go, and we got rid of all of them. Now I am almost done, except I want to return an object here. I want to return text equals, wait, colon, text equals, and L colon $yell. The reason for this is I want to later on be able to immediately go from the index that we're at in here to triggering a click on the element that has that text. And that didn't work. Oh, that's right. Because now it's string dot text. Hey, all right. Okay. Finally got what we want here. Just double check that. I got me an element. I got me some text. And let's go ahead and do one last bit here. We'll do it in the browser. Okay. Okay, items equals this crazy thing. Teleprompter map. That's too crazy. Return text. Return element. Return this. Return this. The ToArray filter. Okay, and then the last thing here is .toLower. Let's go with .toLower. Oh, toLowerCase it appears. toLowerCase. Okay. All right, so I have the items that I need. Now what I want to do is on result, I want to take the transcript. I don't want this to be called color. I want this to be called text. And let's put text. And what I want this to have happen is if items 0 dot contains text dot, let's go ahead and just call this dot toLowerCase contains the text, then what we want to do is some magic, which is items 0.el.trigger click and then I want to say items equal, isn't it like slice or something? What is the thing where you remove one of them? Let's go JavaScript array. Oh, what about pop? cauliflower, broccoli. So plants is going to remove the last one. Broccoli, cauliflower. All right, well, let's just reverse it. No. Yeah. Now let's just try the slice or whatever. Shift. 1, 2, 3. Shift. Hey, all right, shift. First element. This is awesome. Okay. Items.shift. Okay, great. That's probably the worst function I've ever seen. Is it that easy? So we start talking. We all do the same basic searches day after day, don't we? Man, every single one. I will forget this by the time I finish this stream and have to look it up later today. Um, okay, so we have created a list that includes the items, the text, as well as the elements. Okay, this right here is the part that needs to get the most smart because it's quite possible that we don't say the exact words. So I think I did this the other way around. I think I want to do text.contains. Text.contains item 0.text. All right, so if the thing that I said contains the thing that was in the list at the head of the list, then go ahead and pretend like I clicked on it and then shift it out of my list of things to care about. And that's that. I think that's going to work, but I have no idea. Let's give it a shot. All right, so I have to click on the title to start talking, and then I should just be able to say, my name is Nick. My name is Nick. Ooh. Failed to execute start. Speech recognition has already started. I see my name is Nick, and it put on a period, so we need to get rid of the period also. No, actually we don't, right? Because result received text.contains is not a function. You're telling me that that's interesting. Console.log. What is it? Type of text. Okay, how do I start this again? So I click up here. So I click on the header. I'm just gonna make it so you have to actually click again, so we don't get that error. Let's give this a shot. My name is Nick. It is a string. Why is text.contains not working? Wait. My name is Nick. Dot contains Nick. Huh. String contains. Oh, index of maybe? JavaScript string contains includes. We got to have a name called includes. We can't just have contains in every language ever. That would be way too easy. Includes. Includes. Hey, all right. Okay, well, great. Includes. Refresh. My name is Nick. let's wait a minute. Oh, that one didn't quite get there. Okay, great. Let's try that again. Let's wait a minute. Oh my goodness. All right, votes from Twitter. Ah, context. What technologies did you use when you were building this thing? Oh yeah, see, okay, that's the thing. All right, so okay, okay, I'm like really happy with this as far as we've gotten. I think I'm gonna go ahead and stop this here, but I've got like a laundry list of things that I would do. Most notably, doing some sort of distance comparison. Technologies is like the major keyword here and used. So maybe doing some sort of like stemming. What technologies did you use? Instead of doing an exact match on a substring, breaking it up into tokens and then checking if each of the tokens is in there is probably preferable, maybe even in the right order. I don't know. I guess that's not super important. I feel really good about this. Yeah, I will absolutely share this as a gist. I will check in the whole, I'll just do it right now. We're on the screen. Copy. This is everything you need. Let's go to GitHub. gist.github.com. File name including extensions. Uh, Teleprompter speech recognition dot HTML spaces create public gist. All right, go ahead and tweet that one out. Okay, Twitter tweet speech recognition teleprompter prototype from the stream today. Let me know what you think. All right. So I've got, I don't know, maybe 10, 15 minutes left. Does anybody have any questions or anything like that? Happy to answer about this or about anything else really related to coding what we've done today or anything that I do. Technologies used. What problems did you run into? See, that's how I would normally ask that. Well, as I'm writing it down, I would definitely write it down as problems ran into. I feel really good right now. Very nervous about this actually getting done in this amount of time. A little bit more. My intention is to start streaming regularly. I'll be streaming on Fridays from 1 to 3 p.m. This week I did it on Sunday because my wife had somewhere to be on Friday. So she was gracious enough to give me today to work on it. I will definitely plan out about a day before what I'm going to work on and announce it on Twitter, usually in the form of a what do you call it? Of like a Twitter poll or something like that. Um, and that's it. So follow me. Twitter is @Fody, and that's pretty much it. Happy to answer any questions. All right. Well, thanks for joining, everybody. I really appreciate y'all watching, and hope to see y'all again in the future. So have a good day, and we will see y'all later.